Hey there, it's Maddie Robb, and today we have a reflection. I'm telling you all about the story of me applying for my passport and looking for my convention ticket for Miami Convention. But before we get into that story, make sure you go check out my website, maddierobb.com. You can find everything we do there, including social media links and everything else we have going on. Make sure you go check it out, and let's get into this video. In February, I'm going on a cruise through the Caribbean, and I've never been on a cruise ship before. I've always wanted to go on one, so I'm very excited about that trip. But one thing that's required to go on a cruise is a passport, because you're leaving the country and you're going to other countries. I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport before, so I had to apply for one, and I had to get one. So I went online to the IRS website, not the IRS, but the whatever the .gov site is for the passports, and I read through all the information on what you need to do. So first, I was like, I need to find my birth certificate. Now, I knew I had snuck it out of my parents' house a couple of years ago for work because they needed a copy of it, because apparently they didn't have a copy of it on their records, which they did. They just lost it over the 10 years that I've worked there. So I was looking all around. I thought it was in here on a bookshelf in a certain place, and it wasn't in there. Then I thought I put it in my trunk at one point. So I was looking through everything, and I was like, oh my God, somehow it got thrown away, or it got misplaced, or whatever. So I was like, well, I know my parents have more than one copy of it, so I can just go over there and get it. Well, I'm lazy and wasn't going to get it until the very last minute. But for about a month, I couldn't find my birth certificate. I did find it later, and you'll see in a minute. The other thing that you need when you apply for a passport is your photo. Originally, I was going to do this myself. I was going to put up a poster board, take the picture, and then make sure the sizes were correct and print it on photo paper. But I tried printing a photo off of my computer with my printer, and it doesn't print well enough. Like, it's not photo quality printer. So I said, nope, that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to go get it done. So I saw that Walgreens, it was $14.99. Which is it's the same price everywhere. It's $15 anywhere you go. So I went to the Walgreens. Literally, I walked in. There was one person checking out, and there was nobody over in the corner where they have all the cameras and computer stuff. So I asked the guy at the cash register, I was like, do you take photos or passport photos? He said, yep, just go ring that little button and someone will be with you. So I go over there and I ring the button, and it announces customer service needed, blah, blah, blah. So I wait. About 2 minutes later, the girl comes over, takes my picture against the wall, and she puts it on the computer, prints it out. It's all perfect. Literally, it took 20 minutes to do that. That was no problem. I did that last night. Worked out magical. So the night before, now, when I'm going on this trip, I'm going to a conference first for the marketing systems that I use. And then I'm going on a conference with some people that I work with. And I'm going on a cruise with some people that I work with. So the other day, one of the people that I'm going with, she asked me for my ticket number for the conference. And I was like, well, I know the ticket's here somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it. So I remember putting the envelope with the ticket, the conference ticket, behind the tray where I put my keys and all that stuff for the car. At some point, like when I painted the wall behind me, I took the stand that the tray is on. I used that to put the paint bucket on. So when I was painting, I didn't have to put it on the floor. But that means that the envelope that was sitting there behind the tray got moved to my desk at some point. And from there, it could get moved to any of 20 different places in this apartment and never to be seen again. So I spent an entire night looking through all the little piles of crap that I have all around here. So I was going through all these piles because I was nervous. I thought that I had thrown it away for some reason. So I went through all these piles. I went through them all twice, and I couldn't find my ticket to the conference. So I was like, I'm going to have to order another one. Those things are $200. I mean, I can't, it's a lot. I thought to myself, maybe I put it in the glove box in my car. Strange thing to do, but I've done that before with other things. So the next morning when I went out, before I drove off to work, I opened the glove box and I was looking through the stuff and I was like, I don't see an envelope in here. But then at the bottom of the pile, I was like, wait, what's this? It's my birth certificate. So the month that I went, not knowing where my birth certificate was, I found it in my car. Last place I would have thought to put it. I mean, because if you get in a car accident, like, that document's gone. Like, why would you do that? But it was because when I brought it to work, I had to bring it back, and I just put it in the car to keep it safe. And I didn't have a safe place to put it here where it was going to stay and not get lost or ruined. So I decided to just leave it there. And then I obviously forgot about it. But then I found it later. So good for me. Okay, so the last thing. So I did find the conference ticket. I found it sitting in the pile that was on my desk that I had already gone through twice. But as I was going through it, I saw an envelope that had the handwriting on it from the person that sent me the ticket. And I was like, oh my God, here it is. So now it's up on the fridge behind a magnet so I don't lose it. Like, that needs to be the place where I put stuff that's important. On the fridge, on a magnet, so I don't lose it. All right. So got all my documents squared away. Then next thing I needed to do was fill out the application. So I went online to I don't know what the site is, but I went online to the passport travel government site, whatever .gov it is. And I filled out the entire application, printed it all out. I had everything ready. So I got up this morning. I wanted to get up around 7:30, but I just kept hitting snooze because it's Saturday. Who wants to get up early on a Saturday? I got up at 8 o'clock, got in the shower, left the house around 8:30, got to the post office around a little before 9 o'clock, like maybe 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. And I walked in the door, and I thought I was going to have to go to the door because the post office where the passport office is in Portland is huge. It's like the length of an entire city block. It's like the distribution facility for this whole area. So I get there, I park in the little parking lot, and I go in the door thinking, okay, I'm going to have to leave and go around into the front door and go all over the place. But I walk in and I'm like, where is everybody? Because it was just this hall and it looked like it was all post office boxes. So I go around I keep walking down, and then I go around this little corner. I'm like, oh, here's the desk and here's everything. And then over on the right, I see passport photos, and I see maybe 6 people standing there in line. I'm like, okay, this should not be too quick, or this should not be too painful. So I'm waiting in line. The first person's there. At about 9:15, she was finished with the first person that was in line when I arrived there. So it was 20 minutes for that one person. And then the next group went, and there were 3 of them, mother and father and a son. They took about 20 minutes. Then there was another group in front of them, which were 3 women. That took them about 20 minutes because they all had to get their photo. They all had to do the whole thing from front to back. So I get there with my stack of stuff. I got my photocopies of my birth certificate and license. I've got my photo done. I've got my application all correct and filled out. So I hand her the stack of stuff, and she goes, okay. The only thing that I had wrong was I had my mother's current last name and not her last name at birth. So I just had to cross that out and change it. But literally, just stuck my debit card in, paid for it, got it all straightened, got it all taken care of, and it took me about 10 minutes at the window. Meanwhile, everyone else behind me in line was filling out applications and doing all this stuff. So the moral of my story is that if you get stuff done, or you take the time to read what the process is for filling out applications like that before you go and fill it out, it's only going to take you 10 minutes once you're there. But anyway, that's all fine. So my passport application is filed. It should be here by the end of January. I got it expedited because I waited too long, which costs a little bit extra, but it's worth it. Who cares? So that's it. Now the rest of the weekend I have to myself. I don't have to worry about anything else for this cruise. The only thing I have to do is get airplane tickets, and then I'm set to go. And I'm really excited about it because I want a week away from people where no one's talking to me. All right, so that's it for today. Make sure you go check me out at maddierob.com. You can get links there for social media, Facebook, Instagram. I don't have Twitter. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you like this content. Leave me a like. Give me a comment below on what you think of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more soon. Bye.